Hello. I for the last couple of days have neglected to do kind of work on meta goals. That was a thought that I had that passed through my brain that maybe something that would help me for motivation purposes to kind of keep myself on track to try and continue kind of doing goals stuff. Which I've been dropping the ball on since I've shifted over into the new book of trying to have goals, monthly goals and then just sort of yearly goal. But um, to try and have kind of an overarching goal. So I thought, and I'm having trouble even kind of getting myself to just stop for a second and let me take a drink. Oh, there's really nothing in there. I'll just cough. Just to come up with. Oh, okay. Pause. Sometimes your goal has to be get a glass of water so you can talk on your goals video. Um, but yeah, to kind of, I've had a hard time even just kind of going back and looking at my meta goals. So I thought, hey, all right, let's just do a working session. This isn't, I haven't prepared anything. I do have goals that I set out for myself at the beginning of the year. So I thought I'd look at those and assess them and see, to get myself through my final month, the last bit of November, is to just kind of figure out, okay, what are the general areas, and maybe just look at the old goals from this kind of abandoned notebook that I had them in. So 2021, 2021. I came at it with a theme because I really was trying to get general, which was my theme is thoughtfulness and self-examination. So, I mean, I guess, that was a part of it going into it was um, I'm new to this whole goals thing, and there's a real value to just collecting information of to say, okay, what are you doing? And, what comes up? What are things that do seem to drive you? What are the areas where you completely fell down during this year? Maybe that's a part of what I was just sort of thinking as I was going along, is just to try and just like, be take it easier on myself, of just go, okay, what can you learn from this year of noticing yourself, of recording things, perhaps, and then maybe using that at the end of the year to come up with whatever your theme and your general outline is going to be for 2022. So, to develop the habit of purposefulness and being mindful month to month in how I live my life, which is the idea of, of trying to develop a habit of, okay, what stuff would I like to get done? Because if I can think of some things to get done and I only get half of them done, at least I've gotten that half done. There is that definite thing of like, I'm going to fail at all my goals, but if I get halfway, that's not bad. And that shouldn't discourage me, and that I should take that and continue it on. And if it's something takes me 2 or 3 months to get done, at least I get it done. Um, and stuff like that. So that is a big thing to think of for my meta goals. Um, I kind of tried to break things down into structure of there's relationship and family being kind of a sphere within my life, and probably a really big one of that whole thing of, I've got this thing here of weekly outings with Ja, or just spending time with Ja, trying to be more present with my wife, and she is like, the big person in my life. The that's the big thing. I don't really have much in the way of friends. I have people I know from work. I have kind of acquaintances that I know glancingly online in the kind of the YouTube booktube community. But Ja is so important to me. Is such, a central relationship, and that's one that I've gotten into trouble with, of neglecting in the past. And I know it still needs lots of work. Um, Part of that is just maintenance, as it's been married. I've been married to her for a good while, a good while, um, you know, over 30 years now. So that's something that, there's scar tissue in there. There's things that are unresolved. There's just long-term wear and tear. And there's also just lots of love and lots of the goodness that we have in our lives that we've one way or the other managed to stumble in. I've managed to stumble into getting to be with her for this long and feeling extremely lucky for that. Um, which I've got, I guess, represented in my goals a lot of times as, you know, trying to do a weekly outing with her, which is seems to be difficult to do, but doing things with her as well and learning how to properly do things with her. She has her own issues and things that I need to be sensitive to and to shape my. I'm not going to go into what her things are, but I need to be more sensitive to how I support her and regulate myself and thinking about what kind of activities that could that could involve and helping her as we both get older is helping with health so that we can try and maintain a certain level of healthiness as we get older because health becomes more and more of an issue and there's no time like the present to try and have both of us as healthy as possible. So yeah, there's the relationships and family. um I guess number two is work, the way I bring money in to survive. The thing that, you know, um, working with people with disabilities in a residential setting, of trying to be as best of a supportive person who doesn't bring my own bullshit into the workplace, and that tries to make their home, because their home is my workplace, into as pleasant and a pleasant as place as possible, and warm and that and I think you struggle with that and you go through periods where you get a little burned out because it can be tough work over a long haul, and it's 5 days a week full time. So you got to kind of maintain maintain and refresh that energy and remind yourself of why you're doing things, and it's not just the money. I mean, I do, I'm a working person. You got to work to live and to eat and to support everybody at home, but you also got to, unless you want to be some kind of miserable bastard, you got to actually kind of enjoy your work in a way too, and find successes there for yourself, and be there on time, which is another thing. Um, Number three, which probably gets talked about, disproportionately here because it's my own. It's the personal side of me that I'm comfortable sharing on camera, whereas I'm not going to talk about Ja stuff or the super details of Ja and my relationship on here because that is between the two of us. Um, but and relationships I have with other people, but it's my hobbies, which is my love of reading, which I'm very happy to share everything about on here. And it's funny, yeah, I've got book reviews, I've got reading BC and Canadian history, Sunday, um Sunday vids. I think it's about comments actually, which I've completely left behind. I've completely left behind. That's a whole thing in itself, which might be a more meta thing of how I'm going to go forward. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I will think about for booktube goals, because that's my big hobby. That and writing, which has, especially in November, has been a central thing. But I've been slowly building it back up again, after kind of really falling off of it. And I mean, I think that's one of the things I have to think about with National Novel Writing Month, which I'm in at the moment, is the burnout factor. Is that I pound at this for an entire month. I get a whole story done, and by the end, I am so done and so disillusioned that I flush it, and it's only by the time it takes me until next November to get back to it, and to work at again, and it's like I don't want to. I need to like think of how to kind of take care of myself through that to get myself through, and I work up some kind of sort of momentum, and then I need to figure out how to kind of get back in get back into that and and uh, and do it on a way that is building, whether that is just simply publishing on some website my stories that I've just I've at least edited myself and all that stuff. So there's kind of a two things there. There's also this my private readers channel. That's what the PR stands for, private reader channel, which is been an additional thing, which is sort of it's sort of the behind the scenes me thinking things out thing for a lot of stuff. So it's a lot of my private self, which I seem to have found a place for myself on to put out there online in a very nearly anonymous way, or a nearly just in such a unmanageable flood that no one's going to pay attention to it sort of way. I mean, I don't know if anyone pays attention particularly to my public channel, but they certainly don't pay attention to my private channel because I make every effort of that to remain as obscure as possible. Yeah, yeah. I guess number three structure is about house. Just the house, the structure of the house, which I've got regular tidy, regular garbage out, pick an area to clear out each weekend, continue saving money for home improvement, and making plans with Ja about the future of where home is, which yeah, that's a little bit more of a complicated personal thing that that I should actually think about, but I won't think out loud on here. I put money away because we're always need for saving for home improvement. I've talked about on here. We have a whole deck that has to come through, that I've got a line of credit secured that I'm gonna then have to be paying off once we actually pay for the deck. But I've been saving money as I go along. Um, I've definitely fallen down in the whole clearing out an area each weekend. Uh, um, I guess regular garbage out. I guess I've been getting the garbage out, but I think there's also just kind of an overarching hovel that is the house, and how we can kind of try and select and get more stuff out of the house. At least in my own personal stuff. That's obviously other stuff would be a conversation with Ja. Regular tidy is something that I think I should really try. Maybe not NaNoWriMo month, but it needs to get kind of put there as a regular thing to do uh, during weekdays. That would be a good thing, and it just like mental health wise, having a cleaner house would be good for both of us. You know. Structure for health, I've got exercises daily, which unfortunately at this point is just kind of walking around, uh, you know, for the bus stuff and before work and all that, which is like, it's not great because my bike is in the shop, but I will get back into biking more. Swimming, it's probably is going to be warmer weather at this point, to be honest. Walking with Ja and with Shira and with Theo here. Again, another thing that will probably pick up a lot more once I get out of NaNoWriMo. Diet. I do need to work on my diet. I am eating. My eating stuff has gone back up again. I went through a very diety thing where I lost a lot of weight. Probably not the most healthy or sustainable. It wasn't unhealthy. I just got a little obsessive over it. But there's a middle point there that I need to get to. Surgery. I've got a thing that I do need to have surgery on, which just we are in COVID times, so that will just happen when it will happen. Yeah, it was like follow up in July for maybe surgery in fall, and now we're in November, and it's like it's not going to happen this year. But that's all I can do is follow up on that. I don't have much other control over that. Is to just try and keep on reminding the surgeon that I'm around for when it's done, because I would like to get it done while I'm a relatively young dude and not so older, and I'd probably like to lose weight in preparation for that. Teeth. Hey, I actually did this one. Make a clean appointment. I've got it's all clean. I own a electrical toothbrush now, so I'm using that, and I'm finding that quite useful. And monthly osteo with Joel, which I've been doing, which has been amazing for my back. amazing for my back, and doing the exercise, at least that way, I've been doing exercises daily that way. That has been super, super excellent. Super excellent. Structure, I've got financial, which is a putting aside money for each paycheck, which I do. And I put money aside just automatically through my paycheck stuff, so I get money back. I usually always get money back at the end of the year because I put aside a good hunk, not a good hunk, but enough out of my each paycheck that seems to result in a good, happy paycheck from the tax man at the end of the year, which is actually just me paying myself. Food budget, I need to work on being more efficient in our food buying because we buy a lot of food for two people, and spend a lot of money. And I should think about the things that I buy. I should think about that. Chocolate and stuff. And what I could actually cut out of the food budget. I could cut out that I wouldn't would make me healthier and would make me financially healthier. So yeah, yeah. And so yeah, January I had exercise each day, tidy, half an hour on Sunday, Monday, outings with Jaws once a week, getting to work on time, walking Shira and swim, lights off earlier, up earlier. It's another really good goal. Um, uh, yeah, large term goal, home 15 minutes a day, which I think is kind of tidying each day. And number 8 was to do lists each day to keep notes, which I don't do anymore. I might try that. I might try having a keep notes, kind of like little Joe. I will have that. I have like a keep notes, like kind of little Joe jobs. So I don't know if this has been. It's been interesting, kind of just reviewing it. Um, I think I go back to that whole thing of like the meta goal of to develop the habit of being a purposefulness and being mindful month to month in how I live my life, which um, I think is the big thing. I think I felt there's some ways I feel it's slightly divorced from. Is there it's a gathering year. It's a gathering year. I mean, I think I need to have a thing of like things I'm reaching for, which is what's notably absent from that little thing of I'm gathering information. It's what am I reaching for? And that might be, you know, it's reaching for, it's reaching for, I can think of relationship goals. I can think of writing and booktube goals. Uh, I'll have to think about, I think work goals. Um, things that I can accomplish in the when as I'm going forward. And I mean that's maybe my big thing for the end of the year. Maybe is those what am I reaching for goals for 2022. Um, okay, yeah. I mean this has been a long rambling 18-minute long video for me to say I need stuff to reach for. That will kind of buoy me up. Um, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I can see those. I can see some of those. I will write some of those down. Um, yeah, so it's like, I'm just going to put like, okay, 2022, reach for goals. And then look at them in each thing, which, um, in each section, I can see, I if I think about it that way, I can think of what they might be in each section. Um, I will write down what I'm thinking for Ja. I won't say it out loud because which isn't hard. I mean, it's deepening my relationship with her. I think the word deepening intimacy. Yeah, yeah. Work. Work, because it's not just getting to work on time. It's not a great goal. It's yeah, yeah, work. It's just like what I can bring to each, what I can bring to each resident. What can I bring to each resident? Maybe that's a good question to ask myself for that one. For hobbies, I think it's going to be the booktube and writing. Writing, it's going to be editing and self-pubbing stories and novella. And by self-publishing, I'm talking about putting it on a website or something like that. But that's that kind of side of goal. Um, Booktube. Um, Path of the channel. I'm just gonna put what's the path of my channel. I love reviewing books. I love reviewing books. I love reviewing books. I love talking about books. Um, yeah, I'll have to think about that one, and my complicated relationship with comments on them, which seems to be abdicating it entirely. 22 for house. Uh, Making living space. Living space and decluttering. Decluttering. And, yeah, decluttering. Making it a living space by decluttering is really what it is going for. And what would improve the house? Within budget. Considering we will be dropping a ton of money on a new deck out the back, which is going to suck up a lot of the available funds. So it's going to be kind of DIY stuff for that. I'm not DIYing a deck, or else it would just be a crumbling thing. Health, it is diet improve, maybe tracking again. Exercise, back to swimming. Getting a little bit more nuts and bolts here of things to read. It's not really reaching for, is it? Swimming, exercise with Ja. Swimming, exercise with Ja. Exercise in general, and the dogs. What else happened with exercise with Ja? Financial. Yeah, I mean, putting aside money for each paycheck. Food budget. Food budget is a big one, I think. Examining what we eat, examining, what we actually use and what I waste money on, because I have a feeling it's a big black hole. I continue with trying to save as much as you can. Try and save. Yeah, 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 yeah. Actually, I think I should put car in here somewhere too, which is going to be car maintenance, because that's going to be, as the car, especially as the car gets older, should be taking care of it a lot better. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I don't know if I've gotten anywhere. I have sort of, and I'm glad I've written things down at the front of this at least. So I've got some evidence of work and something I could refer back to. But yeah, that's my meta goals. Meta goals. Wow, this is riveting videos. This is exactly the kind of video that should go on a private channel. But you know what? It actually helps me to just turn on the camera and start working things out. Um, Something about the little pressure of the little camera watching me makes me actually kind of buckle down and actually do something about this versus um, just look at it, not even look at it, just to kind of push it to one side and just keep on going, not being thoughtful. I this is, I mean, a part of, I think a part of the good thing about this, about me just filming, obsessively filming myself, is, and talking and talking and talking and talking, is that it's it's probably, it's not there for somebody to stumble across this video and watch it all the way through and say, why the hell is this guy just yakking on and on? It's to help me think, and I think out loud, and filming it makes me have to be slightly coherent and be thoughtful. So, maybe I should be so too hard on myself, because if I look at all this and I think, okay, I have been thoughtful about my, I have been thoughtful. Maybe I've gone around in circles being thoughtful, but I've been thoughtful this year, and it's good to check in every once in a while and to revive that, and to also think about, yeah, for the next year coming up, it's like, okay, you've been thoughtful, you've tried to be noticing all this stuff, you tried to kind of try to have goals and stuff like that. It's like, okay, now you need those kind of reaching for goals, so that all the scut work you do from day to day will have something to motivate for. It's like, why am I having to get up every day and do this dumb thing? It's like, oh, I have to do this dumb thing so I can get to this fun, or not fun, but really accomplishing thing later, as just motivating myself. And yeah, want to try and motivate myself. So that's what I'm doing. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.